probably one of the most devastating things I have ever seen. I've never seen a fish killed before. But it was so salty that mud puppies actually crawled up on the rocks trying to get out of the water. The fish were trying to get out of the water. It killed everything right down to the mayflies. Bass, walleye, every conceivable game fish that you can imagine. And this was a fishing place that for generations after generations after generations, people have come down here to fish. And it was primarily catch and release. There were people that literally had caught and released fish to the point that they recognized the fish and had given them names. And you know, when it hits like that, it's your property, your dreams for the property of developing it into a classroom. It takes a whole emotional connotation to it. And when you see that much destruction through negligence and just people not doing their job and not following the rules and regulations, it's pretty devastating. It really, truly is.
Can you talk a little bit about the plans you had for the creek?
We had planned to develop a teaching area where grade through college could come in, and we had an extremely diverse population of mussels in the area. And California University was wanting to come in and do mussel studies. It just would have been a pristine area that kids could have come in and done water testing. They could have done studying of aquatic animals. It was going to be developed for wildlife habitat, birds, whatever. It would just have been a phenomenal place that kids could have come in and really studied about anything in nature they wanted to. We had blue heron, we had kingfisher, of course your variety of birds. We're big bird people. We put out about 50 pounds of sunflower seeds and 50 pounds of corn a week, year round, more in the winter. And we had brought some fairly rare birds into the area, and of course with my background, butterflies, birds, the environment is aquatic, is just of extreme importance to me. So now instead of a place to study, it's turned into a reclamation area. We're working with the Department of Agriculture and with American Rivers in order to try to get it back as much as we conceivably can through the removal of the dam and through revegetation of the area.
Did your background in environmental science give you a little more insight? Do you feel it gave you more insight than maybe some of the other community members that might not have noticed this happening?
I think everyone noticed it happening in this area because the stream is an integral part of the little town. Mm-hmm. I mean, it goes right through the town, so, you know, it's an integral part to the whole area. I think my background probably helped me to understand more the ramifications of what was going to happen, and having the vocabulary, the knowledge of what people that were in charge were saying, that I could better understand and converse with them on probably more of a scientific level than most of the people in the area. Just knowing the terminology that they used helped a lot.
What were some of the impacts on the community from this from the destruction of the waterway?
Um, well, being a rural area, the stream is used a lot for recreation, fishing, and it was quite noted as being an extremely good fishing area. Generations of people would come, and you'd have grandfathers and fathers and children, and my grandchildren fished down there. And I would not allow my grandson, he's too young to even go down when the fish kill was there, because he's just not of an age that he would have understood what was going on. And I knew if it affected me as emotionally as it did, it would be really too much for him. He knew there was a fish kill. Odor. We were fortunate that it's far enough away from our home that you knew there was an odor, but it wasn't horrific. The people that their homes right along the stream, of course, the smell. And then, of course, the golden algae, when it came in due to the conditions of the stream, which no one has told us. They say they don't know how it got here, but golden algae is predominantly in high salinity areas where there is a lot of drilling, gas drilling, so forth and so on. And since there are no regulations that tankers coming in from these areas have to be cleaned out, I'm sure it was brought in on a tanker that was purchased or brought in by one of the companies and brought up here, and they just threw their lines in, and there it was. That, I guess, is probably the devastating part, because once golden algae is there, they have no idea how to get rid of it. And it will be there forever. And they're finding it in more and more ponds and streams in Pennsylvania and in West Virginia. I think I'm not sure, but I think the last, there were probably 10 areas that they've found it now. And if you look at the big picture, the golden algae is here in Dunkard Creek. Dunkard Creek flows into the Mon. Mon flows into, you just keep going. You're going into Morgantown. You're going into Pittsburgh. And it just keeps going and going. Well, there's nothing stopping that algae in the stream. So how far are we going? And since there's no way to stop it, you can't put a sieve in the stream and keep it from going. What's going to happen when I know the Monongahela in Morgantown is a critical point right now for pollution? What's going to stop it from developing there and wiping out the entire ecosystem of a river? So the long-term consequences, you get the short-term slap in the face, but the long-term, that's the critical part. What is going to happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Have there been any resentment of the people who have leased their property? Or maybe
I don't, I can't really say that. I have seen that because there are none right in the community. Now they're on the fringes. Most of them are farmers who have leased their land, people who have a considerable amount of property. I'm resentful because I'm seeing forest wiped out.